Okay, we have to come live because England have announced their squad for the upcoming ICC Women's Cricket World Cup 2025, and it's a strong squad as we all expected because we all know how strong the overall the talents the squad is for England, and the way it just come out, it is quite expected squad. Will first I will let you know about the names that have been selected. Obviously, captain Nat Sheba Brand, and then A. Marlott, Tammy Bowman, Lauren Bell, Alice Capsey, Charlie Dean, Sophia Dunkley, Sophie Eccleston, Lauren Filer, Sarah Glenn, Amy Jones, Heather Knight. That's a very good inclusion, I will say. Emma Lamb, Lindsay Smith, and Danny Wyatt Hodge. So there is no surprise, Tushadi, as expected, all proven names, and it is quite expected that these 15 names will come up on the list. I think one concern was there regarding Heather Knight, but I think it is now a very good news.
Yes, absolutely. I think Heather Knight's fitness
Mm.
uh, is was a concern, and now that she's in the team, I think the concern would be her match time, because since she was injured, she has not really got match time. So warm up matches probably would be her first game time as such. But other than that, the squad absolutely on the expected lines. The other day also we were discussing the form that Lauren Bell, M. Arlott have shown. There was no question they'll be there. Lauren Filer would be there not only because of form but also because of mm, because of the speed that she's bowling at. We might as well see somebody bowling at 80 miles per hour in the World Cup of women. That too, and that is very very significant, if you ask me. The other day we were discussing about Kate Cross, and I was saying I don't think in India they'll go for four pacers, and that is exactly what has happened. I am glad. I'm actually very happy with the squad that they have selected, and no, absolutely no surprises. If you see, there's a lot of variation in the spin as well. Sophie Eccleston, Charlie Dean, Sarah Glenn, Lindsay Smith. So you have a left arm or two left arm orthodox, but Lindsay Smith actually gives that revolution to the ball, whereas Sophie Eccleston is more someone who pushes it, and her speed variation is way more significant. Charlie Dean, of course, off spinner. Sarah Glenn, wrist spinner. So overall, I think excellent as far as the bowling is concerned. Batting, all of a sudden with Heather Knight back now, is full of experience. Think of this: Amy Jones and Tammy Beaumont are on form. They will be opening the batting. At number three would be, I guess, NSB, or we might see Emma Lamb or Alice Capsey, one of them. And then Natsiver Brunt, Heather Knight. I think at number three also we can see Heather Knight. You never know. Uh, I do think that this is the best team that they could have got. They are playing their best 15, and knowing Charlotte Edwards, they will play their best 11. With the spin, I do think three spinners will play. You'll see two pacers. Mostly they'll start with Bell and Filer, and then if one of them fails, they'll move on to Arlott, is what I think.
Absolutely. And if Natshiba Brand starts bowling, at least from the warm-up matches, I think then it will be it will be huge for them. Another bowling option, and this is
Yes,
not a part-time bowling option.
and Nat does not need to bowl 10 overs, right? Nat
Exactly,
can just
exactly.
bowl the number of overs just
Supportive
to
role.
prepare. Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. Because she
Absolutely.
has some sort of a niggle, or because she is coming back from a niggle, I think for workload management, for whatever it is, if she wants, she can just bowl 3-4 overs depending on what the others are doing, because you have 5-6 regular bowlers. Because say for example Charlie Dean will be there because she can bat as well. Sophie Eccleston can bat as well. And I think the other bowlers, Lauren Bell, Lauren Filer. Then one of Arlott Glenn Smith plays. Basically, that's your five. And absolutely, you have all the five who can. And Heather Knight, it'll be interesting to see. Knight can also roll her arm over, and she's a spinner. So
Yes,
maybe
absolutely.
Nat and Knight together forms a partnership and bowls three overs each and gets 6 overs done there.
Absolutely. Even one comment came from Adit, Audit Trade that Alice Caps can bowl also. Obviously, she can
Correct.
bowl the spin also.
Correct. Absolutely.
So that is another option. Okay, another question from Audit Trade, that will Sophia Dunkley bat at number 3 or 5?
I hope she doesn't bat at number 3 or 5. I don't see her playing in the women's, like in the playing 11, in the first playing 11. After that, sure. But yeah, in the first playing 11, I don't know. Sophia Dunkley Orithra is such a one dimensional player in many ways. I don't think she has a place in this playing 11. Out of this 15, if you have to choose the best 11, I don't see Sophia Dunkley there.
For me also, I think Sophia Dunkley is kind of a backup option for the top three. I think she is as a backup option there. Okay, same Mauricio commenting that, but NSB is not bowling in the 100. Yes, absolutely, she is not bowling. I am saying that at least if she starts bowling from the warm up also, then at least 4 5 overs gold dust for England, another option for them, and that too quality 4 5
I,
overs.
I did not expect her to bowl in the 100. I kind of
Yes,
knew she
I
would
think
bowl
they
in
will
the.
not reach that.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, absolutely. She's not going to waste any bit of
and
her.
and and they don't need it. What and then there is no urgency that she has to bowl because you have enough options.
Yes, that's one of the reasons she first did not bowl in the T20I series against England,
Yes,
and she pulled out completely because she wanted some rest. So I think she's definitely not 100% fit, but a half fit NSB is also dangerous on her day.
yes,
And unfortunately,
absolutely.
she's not that kind of a player who has one day in 10 matches. If she's playing 10 matches, she'll have 7 or 8 of her days. So that is what makes Nat Silverbrand dangerous.
Absolutely. Another comment from Auditors is, I think Lauren Filer and Allot both are very good at using sharp bouncer. Absolutely. They're very good at it, and because the pace they have. Because they have the pace and they always
That is what
score.
will make them interesting. So
Mhm.
Lauren Filer, after all the pacers that people are used to facing, that the women cricketers will be used to
Yes.
facing, will actually hurry the batters, and she
Yes.
will cause trouble. Especially, you know what, both Smriti and talking from the India angle, both Smriti and what is her
Pratika.
name? Pratika has shown, especially Pratika, she cannot control that hook or pull,
Mm.
which is where I
That
think
good punch.
Lauren Tyler and Lauren Bell, do not forget something, that
Yes.
Lauren Bell might not have a brilliant bouncer
Bouncer.
in sense
Mm.
of pace, but the height always helps her. So if she uses her height, she gets that bounce automatically. She's a very tall, lanky. This is something you generally don't say about women cricketers, maybe, but she's very tall and lanky, and has that, she kind of bowls from a very high arm action as well. So she'll get good bounce. Yeah, and you're on mute, Snehashish.
Yes. Actually, some work is going on. That is why.
Yeah.
Okay. For Arithmetic, another comment, but this is regarding England's opponent, Australia. So he is commenting on different note. What is your top order batting for Australia? Litchfield, Wall, and Mooney. Then where will Elisa Haley bat? What's your take?
why will it
Elisa
be
Haley will open.
Litchfield? Why will it be Litchfield, Wall, and Mooney?
Exactly.
It will be, if I think it will be Healy, Wall, and Mooney. I don't see Litchfield there. I think Litchfield will come at number 5 or 6.
Because Litchfield has that game. I think she can bat in the middle order with
Yeah,
all the
that's
names are
how
there.
she has. That's her role
Room.
in even in franchise cricket. If you see, she's not
Yes.
coming. She's not opening the batting. Even for Australia, she's not opening the batting. So yeah, I don't see her opening the batting all of a sudden in the World Cup.
Yes, absolutely. But as we have discussed about the team of England, I think it is looking absolutely fantastic. How do you see Trishadi? From coaching perspective, how much important this World Cup will be for Charlotte Edwards. First, huge achievement you will say in terms of ICC tournament. But do you think that this will be a preparation for herself? Just look at how the team in kind of in terms of mindset in an ICC tournament, because what I think she will first target that home T20 World Cup rather than this World Cup, because she will have enough time to understand the whole team by that time.
Yes, I think this is a dress rehearsal for her. But having said that, knowing Charlotte Edwards, there's a lot at stake. First of all, as a coach, she has that knack of picking up trophies, and that is a big deal. That means, as a coach, she knows the importance of big moments, how to handle it, and not to forget the kind of batter she was. I mean, she at one point Charlotte Edwards carried the whole England batting lineup on her own, which is where I think it is kind of interesting that, and especially now come to think of it, when Charlotte Edwards was a cricketer, one of the main formats, of course, was ODIs, because women did not play that test match that much, and I don't think the T20Is were in full swing at all. So for her, the ODI format will always have a special place and special meaning. Now, when you look at the team, yes, there's one thing that it's Charlotte Edwards' first, World Cup as a coach. But if you look at the team, it's not Nat Silverbrand's first World Cup. It's not Tammy Buman's first World Cup. It's not Amy Jones' first World Cup.
Head and night.
Heather Knight, of course. So I think what I'm trying to tell is she's bringing a pretty experienced lineup. If you
Mm.
actually look at it, then maybe the bowling is where the inexperience lies, the World Cup
But they are in
inexperience,
form.
but they are in form. Exactly. And batting, anyway, batting is a little more challenging in subcontinent
Mhm.
conditions because the ball doesn't come onto the bat as easily as it does in Australia or England. If you
Fine.
can survive the swing, if you can survive the movement, it's much easier in Australia and England, especially because of the bounce. Here there will be two paced wickets. Here there will be bounce issues. There will Some will keep low, some will rise up to a height. So I think it is important to understand that while yes, Charlotte Edwards cannot completely be thinking that this is the World Cup we have to win. That would be the 2026 home World Cup. But here I think her what do you call that, her one vantage point or advantage is the fact that there are a lot of experienced players out there where she might not really need to go and say, oh, you know what, you need to do 1 2 3 4. So she doesn't need to lay out everything. She can come up with strategies. And think of this, Heather Knight has been England's successful captain. The Ashes was bad. Towards the end, there were a lot of things not working. But in general, Heather Knight was a top captain. So you have a Heather Knight. Sophia Kilston has been bowling for so many years. So there's a lot of this experienced leadership group which Charlotte Edwards can prepare for the moments. And make no mistake, I think they are one of the strongest sides in this World Cup. Make no mistake at all, because the kind of spin lineup they're bringing. And I wouldn't be surprised if you see Lindsay Smith playing ahead of someone like a Sarah Glenn as well.
Yes, absolutely. And see, even England has so much variety in the spin department. India doesn't have a leg spinner in the squad, so that's a clear advantage for them. But
Yeah,
but I
again,
think
I couldn't understand why Prema didn't get a chance in place of Radha. I did
yeah,
not understand. See, it is not Radha's fault, but you have to understand, if you have N. Sri Charan, who's doing so well, you can't have Radha Yadav because you cannot play both. And if you're playing both, then that's a strategical mistake. So there you have to get in Prema Rawat. I mean, very difficult to understand in subcontinent conditions, in your own home conditions. You don't want a leg spinner when you have the option. If Prema wasn't in form, then I would have thought. But she bowled really well in against Australia A. She batted. She showed that capacity as well. So it's not like you can say that, oh, Radha Yadav is there for her batting prowess, because if she plays as an all-rounder, Prema can play as an all-rounder, and Prema was very good on the field as well, so she was a good fielder as well.
Yes, absolutely. Because all your primary, leg spinners are injured. So I think there was a chance that you could have gone with that. But what I think they didn't risk, to put a new name suddenly for the World Cup. Obviously, there was opportunity, but it's okay. I think that is why they didn't go. By the way, as Tushari mentioned, Australia today the Test match started. Today it was the day one, but so
Monday
much
for
rain happened. So much rain happened, and the match lasted only for 23.2 overs. And India are in a danger position, 93.5. So let's see tomorrow how the games pan out. But let's take some comments. There are so many comments. Second. Yes. Okay, we have take this one. We've taken this one. Yes, divine aspect. Okay, Aditya M. Tripathi saying, what I feel, India needs to play cautiously against Sophie Eccleston, and while bowling needs to get Beaumont out as early as possible.
so India, of course, needs to play. In fact, I was just wondering. I think England will go with one of the strongest spin lineup. Even Australia wouldn't have that strong a spin lineup as such. But yeah, getting back to Sophie Eccleston, yes, she has the knack of picking up wickets. She was not world number one because by fluke. It does not happen by fluke. So India has to be wary, but I do think that more than Sophie Eccleston, at least in this World Cup, I think Charlie Dean and Lindsay Smith will have a greater role to play. And you will see Lauren Filer playing a huge role, but I do think Lauren Bell will be one of the highest wicket takers.
Yes, absolutely. Even don't forget Sarah Glenn also. Leg spin option. She is in good form
Yes,
also.
but I don't think Sarah Glenn will get that much of game time. That's there.
But do you think, Tushari, that Lindsay Smith, and obviously there is a difference of breaks and all, but still left arm orthodox two bowlers, do you think that will make them think, okay, let's go with a leg spinner?
I think they will initially start with Lindsay Smith and Sophie
Sophie.
Eccleston,
Mhm.
Charlie Dean. Uh,
Yes.
Sarah Glenn will get her chances. It's not like she won't. But yeah, I think it will be a toss up between Glenn and
Lindsay
Lindsay
Smith
Smith.
and Glenn. Mm,
Yeah.
yes, absolutely. Uh, Tunisha saying, do you think Australia women are favorites to win this ODI World Cup? Please discuss. Absolutely, they are one of the favorites. There is
See,
no deny.
whichever tournament Australia women's team plays, they are the favorites. Whether it's our home, their home,
Yes.
your home, my home, they are the
And you
favorites.
don't need to discuss that. You know that.
Huh. Yeah. You their team is such, and you know what, their team is full of all-rounders. So when
Exactly.
it comes to other teams, you have to discuss, okay, there are five bowlers and then so and so can roll their arm over so and so. But with Australia, you don't need to discuss anything. They have Beth Mooney, who's a regular, who's a regular in
Wicket
the team,
keeper.
who can keep wickets. There's
Yes.
Aliza Hill, who actually keeps wickets and
Yes.
bats, and
Phoebe
is also
Litchfield.
part of the playing 11. There is a Phoebe Litchfield who can also keep. So you have three keepers in the playing 11 itself. And, and apart from Healy, both Mooney and Litchfield are gun fielders as well.
Yes.
So you might ask, and Litchfield is a splendid catcher. That's one
Yes.
more thing. Now, if you talk of someone like, see, the thing with Australia is players like Grace Harris don't even get a chance in the playing 11.
Exactly.
And if
Exactly.
and if Grace Harris was in any other team, she would be probably the first name put in the playing 11.
Yes.
But
Yes.
Australia, they can't give her a chance.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry, we can't.
Okay. Next comment. Okay. Sharanya Haldar saying, do you think the series win against England was a fluke? Or this Indian team can beat England again in this World Cup? They can defeat England in India. I think so. And it was not a fluke. I
Nothing
think
was
England,
fluke.
Yeah,
It's
India
fluke.
performed brilliantly.
You can't have
Yeah,
fluke happening in two matches properly. No, it wasn't a
exactly.
fluke. Can India defeat England in a World Cup? India has defeated England in a World Cup
Yeah.
previously as well. The question is not whether India can defeat A team, B team, C team. India can defeat any team. The problem is about moments. Can
Mm.
India, because India has till date shown that problem, that when it comes to big moments, when it comes to crucial moments, India has, kind of not been able to handle the pressure. You lost the 2017 World Cup by 9 runs. Nine. It's not, you could have won the World Cup. You lost 6 wickets in no time. So it is about the moments, and big matches are going to bring in big moments. The crowd, which is support in the rest of the matches, in the crucial moments, that will be pressure, because every woman cricketer out there, whenever they go out, they know that the pressure is Indians will come up and come crib against them and
Yes,
question their worth. So it's every single day, it's a question mark for them, every single. So I think they can beat everyone. I think India are the favorites along with Australia. But
exactly.
the difference is Australia in a pattern has shown that, what, we can seize the important moments. If you think of the T20 World Cup where Herman got out in the semi-final, that run out.
Mm.
Yes, Harman's bat was stuck. But now think of the situation. She could have thrown a little late. I forget who was there in the boundary. Alisa Healy, in that kind of a situation, that was an easy two. So she did not need to stand right behind the stumps and be ready, because India was cruising in that match. But
Fine.
every single Australian player is always ready to make that comeback. They want to be that player to get that run out. Something that we saw in Ben Stokes in the India England tour. Something which I was not seeing in most of the Indian players. Something you will see in Mohammad Siraj. When
Mm.
everything is going against you, when everything is against you, to still running at the same way that you were running when you were playing when it was 0 for 4 or something of that sort, is what
Fine.
makes the difference. For example, when Ben Stokes did that, made that Rishabh Pant run out, it was out of the blue. But that's
Fine.
how he is. And I've written about this. There was Shardul and Jadeja. You could see that they were making that calling mistake. And suddenly, you look at Ben Stokes at extra cover, he's coming in with a spring in the step.
Mm. He's sensing that there is a chance and we have to grab that.
That's the point.
Yes.
And that is how Australians play.
Mm.
And that is why they seize the crucial moments. Can we do it? That will be what will define whether we win or we don't win the World Cup.
Yes. Okay, Audit Trade commenting that you said Litchfield doesn't open in ODIs, but she played as an opener in the ODIs versus England Domain in January. That she played because Alyssa Haley was not there, right?
He was
Because Alyssa
there.
Haley is injured. Yes. So when Alyssa Haley is back, if Georgia Wall is playing, then obviously Wall and Alyssa Haley are going to open. If Georgia Wall is not playing, if Australia decide okay, if Alyssa Haley is there, do not pick Georgia Wall, then maybe there is a chance that we can see, considering that right hand left hand combination, that Elisa Haley and Litchfield can open the innings. Do you think that can happen, Trishani?
I don't think. I think then you can always bring up Beth Mooney.
If you really need that left hand combination, then go for the experienced player, right?
Absolutely, because see, Beth Mooney can't bat at five. Litchfield can bat at five. You have to understand that.
Absolutely.
You think Wall won't play? Interesting. I thought Wall will.
No, I think she will play because she also
No, no,
can give you
by the
that.
short stroke. No, no,
Oh
no. I
yes,
will.
yes. Mhm.
Not you. We don't
Maybe
think that
because
Wall will.
because right now this left hand right hand combination is a big pattern na, in world cricket, so that is why.
Yeah, it's a bit of a Instagram trend, kind of. You know, everyone wants left and right in combination. I mean, see, it makes sense, but it's not the only sense or only thing that should be done.
Okay, Prince of World 111 saying, asking a question to ECB management that if Danny Watt in your planning for World Cup, why did you drop her in Indian tour?
What's she dropped?
Yes, I didn't remember. Just please, if you can just check that. But
Yeah, I'll check.
I think yes,
Yeah, she wasn't there. Not sure whether she was dropped or something else. What did she get? Just give me 1 sec. 1 sec.
yes. Check some injury was there or not. Yeah. Okay, Prince of World saying, I think Lindsay Smith will be key for England. Let's see. Absolutely. I think she is one of the spinners that we have to look forward in the World Cup. And as Trishadi mentioned, that along with Charlie Dean, I think Lindsay Smith will be one of the key factors and key players to watch out for. Okay, let's see what else we have. Okay, Trishadi will be back in shortly. Sophia Eccleston is a brilliant bowler, but do you think she needs to improve her fielding? I think she's a decent fielder, and the best part of her that she can bat. I think that play a huge factor for her. But I think with the ball only she can win you games. If on her day she can claim easily 3, 4, 5 wickets and win the games for you by picking up crucial wickets of the opposition. So I think that makes her different, and obviously doesn't matter if she doesn't do that much well in fielding. With her bowling and a little bit of batting, I think she is a different starter for England. Okay, Jaspal Singh. Okay, okay. Let Trishadi come. Jaspal Singh, I will take your comment. But what I can answer, Heather Knight is your experienced player. You need her. You need her to stabilize the middle order. Just see what happened against India, against the quality side in the ODI series. I think they looked a bit different side without not having a Heather Knight, experienced Heather Knight in the middle order. But Trishadi,
Sorry,
I have
guys.
a
Large.
question for you. Yes. Jaspal Singh asking Trisha ma'am, Knight
Hmm.
not playing one game, so why in team 15?
Knight not playing one game means?
Knight is not playing now cricket, then why suddenly in the World Cup 15?
Arey Baba, wo to injured. She was injured. That's why she was not playing. It's not like she was dropped. You cannot drop Heather Knight from ODIs. Not right now. This will be her last ODI World Cup, I'm quite sure.
Last,
But that,
I just wanted to ask you that only. Last 2 day for her, right?
yeah, है. इसके बाद कुछ नहीं. And that's why, the thing is, uh, I think a number of players in Australian side and a number of players in the England side are playing their last ODI World Cup. They will be desperate to win. Now I know a lot of people will say, why will India be not desperate? Of course, India will be desperate to win. But in India, I think it's only Harman who's playing her last ODI World Cup. And I am going to get so many abuses because of that. Somebody texted me, why don't I like Harman? Let me clarify. I have no problem with Harmanpreet Kaur, the cricketer. I have tons of problems with Harmanpreet Kaur, the captain. But the truth is, I'm just talking about age. I think age wise, and the other thing which is worrying, and I'm being very honest, I was telling this to Boria also the other day. I'm very worried about that knee because you will see Sneha, this is happening for the last 1 year. Every time Harman plays a longish innings, she's not there in the second innings. And Smriti is doing the captaincy. The point is not whether Smriti is doing the captaincy. The point is Harman is
Fitness.
one of the fittest until and unless she is carrying a niggle, until and unless something is actually hurting. She's not someone who will sit outside, right? No player does so, to be very honest. And
Exactly.
Harman also isn't doing that. But how many matches has she missed because of that injury? How many matches where she has batted but has not come out to field? And World Cup will be strenuous. There will be a lot of traveling. We also know, come the World Cup, Harmanpreet plays longish innings. If you see the 4 years in between ODI World Cups, you have a lot of innings to complain about when it comes to Harman. But when it comes to World Cups, she is there performing for the team.
Yes,
So she scores 100, she scores a 50. She cannot come out in the second innings. That for how long will that go on? Because definitely the knee is a problem. You have been there practicing. You have said it's
yes,
heavily strapped. Not recently, but yes, I think that knee is
that's
something that we
true.
will keep an eye on. And while you're fielding, you have to dive. There are a lot of questions that's there.
Absolutely. For the last 1 year, several injuries, not only knee injury, neck problems and all.
Yes.
I think it has been a very difficult, for her in terms of fitness. But that is one of the factor that how the team management, manage her workload. I think that we have to check in the World Cup. Okay. Originated, but Australia. She's talking about Australia, but they had a disappointing T20 World Cup. Probably Tahila McGrath captaincy was not effective this time, though they have Haley. Yes, I think Tahila Magath has not done enough as a captain.
Healy was there in the T20 World Cup. For one or two matches, she missed it.
Yeah, I think last two matches. Yes,
Yes.
yes,
See, that is the more dangerous part, right? This is
yes.
definitely Alisa Healy's last World Cup. She herself has said this. And think of this, and I'm repeatedly telling you that she has picked it up from Meg Lanning. Then a T20 World Cup exit, because see, nobody is going to actually put it on Talia McGrath. She came and
Exactly.
she did two matches. The main captain, of course, was Healy. So under Healy, Australia has not won a single ICC trophy. You think Healy and the team are not restless? I think they're very restless to win this one, and that's why they'll be pretty dangerous. Also, if you now look at WPL, English and Australian players play very significant roles in every single team in WPL. That is where it's far more dangerous. Also,
Absolutely.
guys, India will be having a 1 week camp. As we had said, we had broken it in Red Sports that India will be having a 1 week camp on the starting from the 25th of August
Okay.
in Vishakhapatnam, that is Vizag, which is their venue for some of the matches, one or two of the matches. Since they're having a camp in Vizag, they will be hoping that Hyderabad becomes the venue and not
Yes.
Chilantran could be
Hmm.
actually very useful then.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. Tunnisha saying Australia men's team started their domination from early 2000 to 2008. When will Australia women domination end? Previous year in Dubai in World Cup, I thought they
Okay.
were unlucky against South Africa. Not unlucky. South Africa played brilliantly.
For a change, South Africa played brilliantly and they
Yes,
didn't
yes.
choke. That's the more important part.
Anneke
They
Bosch. Anneke Bosch innings. What a knock it was. What a knock.
brilliant. And you know what? South Africa in the last few like important matches has shown that they now probably have a little more of that fearless attitude than they had before, and that's
Yes.
why they probably will be choking a little lesser. So yeah, interesting, very interesting.
Yes. Okay. Auritro has come up with a vital question for both of us. Can New Zealand do well in this World Cup?
Sorry.
Can New Zealand do well in this World Cup?
Oh, the kind of form Sophie Divine is in. She's in divine form, you know.
Absolutely.
With the bat, with the ball. I think the other day I was explaining to someone that the kind of form that Sophie Divine is in. It almost seems like Sophie Divine against all the bowlers and all the batters in the
Yes.
world. She is on a mission. Again, last World Cup for both Susie Betts and Sophie Divine.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, Jaspal Pal Singh. Okay, sorry मैम मुझे पता नहीं था नाइट इज इंजर्ड यस ही इज इंजर्ड
नहीं नहीं,
सॉरी का कोई
सॉरी
बात नहीं है या सॉरी का कुछ नहीं है हम लोग
हम तो
ऐसे ही
यहाँ
बातचीत
है
कर रहे
कि
हैं
आप
हाँ हाँ
पूछे।
यस हम लोग ऐसे ही इधर ऐसे ही बोलने आ गए कोई ऐसा नहीं है okay okay Tunisa saying how did England lose Ashes 16 nil after that night and the coach resigned because Alana King was in divine form. That time, Alana King was having
Also, I
divine
think,
form.
honestly, if you ask me, I think John Lewis had lost the dressing room.
Yes.
That's what I thought. There was a lot of. I don't think Heather Knight had lost the dressing room. I thought
No, even
John Lewis,
I think the same way. Yes.
because if you look at the interviews after that, nobody really goes back and which coach during a tournament says, "Oh, you know what? People in England are not fit enough. People in Australia are what
Because
rubbish."
of these reasons.
Yeah, what rubbish. I mean, you can do 16, but you can't say such rubbish as a coach. So I do think that, it happens if you as a coach lose the dressing room, and if you cannot work in tandem with your captain, that shows. That shows in the performance of the team when there is insecurity in the team, when um, there's confusion in the team, there's anger in the team, there's frustration in the team. It shows, and that is what happened, and that was the resultant 16 nil. Yes, I agree, Alana King was on top form, but I still don't think the squad which went to Ashes was bad. I think mentally they were not there.
Okay, last three comments, then we can wrap up the show. Sharanya Haldar saying, please tell BCCI के stadium decide करो and ticket sale शुरू करो or make Eden Gardens the replacement for Bangalore.
आपके मुंह में
That
घी
is not going to
शक्कर
happen.
आपके मुंह में घी शक्कर पर मैं पहले ही बोल दूं पर
नहीं होगा.
apparently in another 2 to 3 days, probably Monday, we will be getting
Yeah.
the venue.
Yes.
uh, the front runner for that is Kerala, which is Trivandrum. That is also because Trivandrum, and the association, the Kerala Cricket Association, has volunteered that, what, we can get the pitches prepared and we can get the venue prepared. Just give us a nod. They are still trying Bangalore, if possible, to somehow get police this thing, because Bangalore, you have to understand why this is happening, because Bangalore is a hub for women's cricket in many ways.
Exactly.
That's why
Exactly.
they want to play the final and the first game, the spectacles. They want it there in Bangalore because there's huge interest for the women's game in Bangalore. Uh, but almost 70, 75, 80, 90% chances of that's not going to happen. Trivandrum is, as I said, highest there, and then there is Hyderabad, Rajiv Gandhi International Stadium. That's there in the talks, but again, 90% it's going to be Trivandrum. There is a 10% chance of it being Hyderabad, because a number of matches are there in Vizag. So why Hyderabad
Mm.
becomes a point in contention is,
Quite similar conditions.
it's not about conditions. I don't think right
Distance.
now ICC is going to bother about, because look, this is not on BCCI alone. You have to understand there are a
Exactly.
lot of
Exactly.
other things involved.
Mm.
First of
Yes.
all, Bangalore, it is Bengaluru politics, not RCB. Not, it's Bangalore politics which has pegged this back a lot. Unfortunately, BCCI cannot do something until and unless there's a sure shot no. There's not a sure shot no or a sure shot yes. That's the problem. The other
Yeah.
part then is then deciding the venue. Then ICC also comes into being. There will be a role played by both the boards. When it comes to Hyderabad, again, it is in contention because of the logistics. Because when
Mm.
you have the next round of matches, I'll tell you exactly. Just give me 1 second. Uh, because I was noting these points down. We just don't come for the show, like we properly prepare for the shows. So yeah. Eh? Why did I go to Australia? Where is the World Cup? Huh? Yeah, sorry. um so India plays in Colombo, and after that India straight up goes to Vizag.
Mm.
So it would actually be, in fact, from 9th October, if you see, there are two very important matches in Vizag, and then again 12th October, India plays Australia in Vizag, and South Africa, Bangladesh also happens in Vizag. So there are games in Vizag. So if it happens in Hyderabad, logistically it's easier. But
Mm.
then again, there are so many factors to be considered. It's not easy. The optics are poor. And not only you, let me tell you guys, it's not about your tickets alone. Boria and I have this discussion every single day, that until and unless the venue is out, it is very difficult for us as well, especially um, because we are committed to covering women's cricket the way we cover men's cricket. As you can see, to be honest, we are all there coming live. We will be discussing every squad. In fact, once I'm back, I'm on leave. Once I'm back, Snehashish and I will be sitting and we will be profiling every single player. So what we'll do is, say for example, Nat Silverbrand. Yes, what she has done this year, what is her role, etc. But we'll bring a twist to it. So we will be writing. So what exactly can they do which will challenge the opponents? And then there will be a short section for us, which is, what happens if they play against India? Why should we be
Mm.
scared of Nat Brandt, or where she can create issues? So there will be a lot of work put in, but it becomes that much more difficult if we get to know the venue later, because we have to book hotels, we have to get
Absolutely, yes. Okay, so what Tushadi mentioned, that it is getting a little bit difficult for, obviously, to arrange all the things, but obviously all things will be sorted once the venue is out. But again, okay, I think Auditor has come up with a very good point, that why it was 16-0 in the Ashes for Australia, because just imagine how much catches did England drop in the Ashes. Absolutely, I think very good point mentioned. I think it was a horrible fielding effort from across all three formats, all three, ODIs, T20s, and the tests. So I think it was horrible. Okay, Prince of World came up with an interesting point, that just imagine India and Australia are playing the final, India chasing and 13 runs needed from the last over. Which two batter could do that for India? I think Jamie and Richa. I think Jemima and Richa. I think if you are in that kind of position, I think you need those kind of batters to win that game. Or you can say single handedly, a little bit support from Amanjot. I think one more option.
what,
Tushadi,
Amanjo?
interesting question from Prince of World, that just imagine India and Australia are playing the final. In the last over, India needs 13 runs. Which two batters can do the job for India, do you think? For me, it's Jamie and Richa, or maybe Amanjot Richa for you.
Yeah, Richa. Oh, wow. Richa Jamima.
Richa, Jamie, yes. Jamie and Richa. Yes, okay. Uh,
I don't
mm,
mind Amanjot Jemima as well. But
exactly,
yeah, I
exactly.
kind of am a little wary if it's Amanjot Richa, because both will go for the runs and we might end up losing. So yeah, I would want someone like a Jemima to be there.
Stable, yes. Okay. Shumit Sharma saying in ODIs, Amanjot Kaur averages 14 and Dipti averages 36. Richa averages 21, and Amanjot Richa will bat ahead of Dipti. Don't go for the numbers.
But it's got to
Think
do
about the
with
impact.
it is
Yes,
about roles. It is not, Deepti does not have to play more than
exactly,
a finisher. So her
exactly,
strike rate is more important than her average, sir. Don't go by what all pundits literally say, because for T20 eyes also, it's not only strike rate. It has to be who bats at which position. That becomes extremely important. So and the role that a particular batter plays. I don't think Richa and Amanjot play that role where their average is important. It is their strike rate
exactly,
which is more important. So, but whenever it comes to Deepti, because of her playing style, her average is more important than her strike rate.
exactly. Mm. Okay, last comment. Although it is about South Africa women's team, but okay, we'll take that. Does Orithro, it is from Orithro, does South Africa have a good team to qualify in the semi-final? How important will be Brits and Laura Ulvert? They are going to be? And what do you think? How good is Enertic direction? Trisha,
Oh, direction is brilliant.
I think she is one of the
Brilliant.
players to watch out for in this World Cup.
Absolutely, she is. Absolutely, she is. She's that perfect perfect younger version of Marizanne.
Yes, I just think that now she and her idol will play together. I think that should be a huge, huge opportunity for her. And I can
Yeah,
clearly
it will
remember,
for her. It will not
yes,
be great for us. I mean, us in the sense, in general, the rest of the teams. See,
yes.
South Africa also has a very good team. South Africa has a very good team. New Zealand, on the other hand, I feel does not have a very good team, but you never know with them, especially because they are so much dependent on Divine and Susie Betts, and Divine
Mm,
is in divine form. So that's the only thing which is kind of making me wonder that important moments again. I think throughout the World Cup there are a few key words that you will hear from Snehachish and me. Crucial moments, important
mm.
moments, who won those
Grand
important moments,
situations.
and I think that will yes,
Yes,
that will decide. And
absolutely.
you never know if Sophie Devine is out there for the important moments, seizes those important moments with the ball. I think someone like Amelia Kerr will be very effective. So taken together, I think you as a squad, New Zealand probably would not be as strong as the rest of the squads. But again, there is a reason why Sophie Devine and Susie Betts are still playing.
Yes, absolutely. And as you asked that about Tasmin Breeds and Laura Olgert, obviously they are going to be
Oh,
vital.
absolutely. I think
If you see the success rate of South Africa, it's depended highly upon them. If they get a good start, then only they can put up a good score on the board while batting first, or going for the chase in the second inning. So they will be vital. For South Africa, I think Trishati, you will agree. I think two parts. I think they will struggle. I think one is obviously in recent times, Mason Cap was not there, Anneke Bosch was not there because of injury and all, and illness. I think that is why the middle order looks doesn't look that much good as of now.
correct.
I think then these two players will play a vital role in the World Cup. I don't know how they will play because after a long time they are making a comeback. Another part that I think that will make a difficult for them. I think the spin department, because apart from Malaba, I am not seeing any kind of a
And
tremendous
Malaba is
spinner that
not
will.
a outstanding spinner
Exactly.
or something.
Exactly. So I think that is a part that, because all the other spinners are quite young and they're less experienced. So I think huge opportunity for them. They might surprise us,
That is
but
where I think
on
your
paper,
favorite
ahead
player
of
will
the
play
World Cup looks a bit
a role.
tricky.
That is where I think your favorite player will play a big role here. And
Yes,
that is just like
my favorite player is going to be very vital in this World Cup for South Africa. There is no doubt about that. Her cutters, just wait for this. But a clear request to my favorite player: don't do well against India. Apart from, you just go for it. Yes, yes,
मतलब कस्टमाइजेशन कर लो, प्लेयर से बात ही कर लो कि look, you don't play well again. Somebody had told me, I think went and told Mithali one day, because in domestic also she would keep scoring runs. So
yes.
she went and said they were just saying all the best for the match just before a
Uh,
domestic match. She said, "Dee, I am a huge fan of yours, but please don't score against us just because I'm a."
yes.
But yeah, I think your
Okay.
cutters are one of the. There are two players. I mean, two bowlers whose slower balls the will be very significant in the World Cup. One is Nadine Clark, and the other one is Lauren Bell.
Yes. Absolutely. Aditya, Amelia Kerr is going to be MVP for New Zealand. She should be one of the players to watch out for.
Potential to be.
Exactly. Okay, last question. I think we have to take that before closing out. Sumit Sharma asking, if strike rate is so much important, then why not Shefali Verma instead of Pratik Rahal? Brother, you just think about the position. It's all about the position. You are talking about the opening position in a 50 over format, and when we are talking about the strike rate, it's about the finishing the innings, right? Trishadi, just tell and let's wrap up the show.
The role. It is about role.
Yeah,
Your role. You have a specific role in the house, in your family.
exactly.
A cricket team is a family. So every player has their role. Pratika's role, yes, it would be lovely to have Shafali, but Shafali is not in form. Pratika is in form because of her average, not her strike rate, because in the opening slot, it's not the strike rate that you're looking for. You're looking for stability, you're looking for average. But now come down the order from number 5 onwards, you're looking at the strike rate. You're not looking at the average anymore. And I'll tell you exactly why. Because Pratika comes when 0 balls have been bowled. So Pratika has 300 balls to play. But when number 5, Jemima Rodriguez, comes in,
Yes,
she will barely, if India bats well, she will barely get 50 balls to play.
exactly.
So last 50 balls, what matters the most? Strike
Strike
rate.
rate.
End of story.
Yes, yes. I think all the comments have been taken.
Because, okay, let me tell you something, Sumit. Because you said
Hmm.
this. Now, for example, if God forbid, if India is very quickly 4 wickets down, you will not see Richa or Amanjot coming ahead of Deepthi. You will see Deepthi coming ahead
Yes,
of Richa and Amanjot.
absolutely.
So that is where the average will matter. That is where Deepti's average experience, playing style, anchor role will matter. But if India bats well, if it's after the 40th over or even after the 35th over, it will be Richa and Amanjot who will come before. I was going to say before Smriti. I did not mean that. I meant Deepti. Sorry.
Yes. But it all depends on the particular situation during that match, and according to that, you have to be flexible. And all champions team who becomes the champions, they have that flexibility, and that is why they
See,
become
in
champions.
T20s, I think top two, and
Yes,
in ODIs, top four. These are your
exactly.
positions which stay stable. Otherwise, every other batting position should be flexible depending on the situation.
Absolutely. Okay, thank you guys for joining in. And it was not a planned live show, but still, you guys have joined and so much comments. Thank you
Till
for
we
that.
reach 1 hour is what he's saying.
Yes, 50 minutes cross, and so many people are watching. So that's a very good point. We are very happy actually. So thank you, Trishadi, for joining in. I will be back. Trishadi is on leave, as you can see. So I will be back for the pre-match show of today's women's 100 match. And again,
Yes.
from the day after tomorrow, we'll be both back for the pre-match and post-match show. Till then, thank you, take care, and let's meet in the pre-match show. Thank you.